I am going to call to order the 2,472nd meeting of the Darien Police Commission. First order of business, acceptance of the minutes of February 8th, February 23rd, and February 27th. I believe two of those are executive session where we were in interviews for promotions. Motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any, I thought we were gonna take out the names of these.
We had a conversation, there was some conversation about FOI and names. Under the FOI, external candidates are not disclosable.
Totally got it.
But this is the historical record of what the police commission did and who they interviewed.
Perfect.
So, internal candidates are not.
Actually, that's good information to know. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Correspondence?
Well,
Chief?
as the
Current
commission
chief?
knows, we went to Henley School for Read Aloud Day. And I tell you what, I think these are the only, maybe, I got a whole bunch of Valentines. But collectively, we got a lot of nice Valentines from the kids at Henley School.
It's nice.
There was no candy attached, but we thanked them for,
I don't think that,
you know. They were very, very happy to have us at Henley School, and it was a very enjoyable time, and the kids were really excited, so that was a nice event. I have a letter here that Captain Hedema sent on behalf of the LTA. We've had this discussion before. The redevelopment of 7 Sedgwick, which is the Bank of America building. The town's traffic engineer has already vetted this some time ago, and they came back, there's a revised type land use going on there, but the question for the Legal Traffic Authority was the crosswalk and the stop sign if you're coming westbound on Old Kings Highway where there's not a stop now. The Legal Traffic Authority, I think we spoke about it, recommended that we were in favor of a 3-way stop there, being that there's going to be a crosswalk across Sedgwick Avenue now. It would kind of effectively mirror what's going on by the Darien Ice Rink, right? There was a time at that intersection where it wasn't a 3-way. There was a time in my time it was completely uncontrolled, and we used to get a lot of accidents there. So this one, with that new development, you're gonna have a 3-way stop. You're gonna stop on Mechanic, you're gonna stop on Sedgwick, you're gonna stop on Old Kings Highway, and there will be a new crosswalk and ADA compliant handicap ramps there as well. So that letter was sent, they had a hearing, and I think that's a positive step forward. As some people know, we had the Police Citizens Academy here for 8 or 9 weeks, very well received. And I got a letter from 2 residents who attended the Citizens Police Academy. It says, we both participated in the Citizens Police Academy. We continue to follow the department's activities and appreciate the continued commitment to serve the town of Darien. We'd also like to thank Chief Anderson for his many years of service and attaches a donation to the Darien Police Department gift fund. And the commission knows it was a fairly sizable and handsome gift, and much appreciated to the residents for donating to the gift fund.
Do we have another academy scheduled yet, or no?
Not yet. We're looking to run something in the spring.
That's it for correspondence.
Okay. Captain, department activity?
Sure, this is the period from February 8th through yesterday, February 28th. On February 8th, a 45-year-old Stanford woman was arrested by warrant for several motor vehicle charges stemming from an incident in which she fled a traffic stop in August of '22. During the early morning hours of February 9th, officers responded to a single motor vehicle accident near Tokenique Road and Raymond Street. Officers found that the vehicle had left the roadway and crashed into 5 Mile River. Upon arrival, officers located a female occupant floating face down and unresponsive in an outgoing current. 2 officers jumped into the water and brought the victim to a dock and began life-saving efforts. This victim has recovered from her injuries. Unfortunately, a second victim was located a short time after and was pronounced deceased at a nearby hospital. The accident remains under investigation by the Darien Police Accident Investigation Team. On February 12th, detectives responded to the Albany Correctional Facility and extradited a 38-year-old Bronx, New York man on the strength of an arrest warrant. The subject was arrested for the theft of catalytic converters in town in September of 2018. On February 19th, a 28-year-old Warren, New Jersey man was arrested by detectives by warrant for identity theft, forgery, and larceny from a check washing incident that took place in January of 2023. On February 28th, we held a Coffee with a Cop event at Cafe Nero with the Board of Realtors. I think it was very well received. Great turnout. Over the same time period, we had 7 domestic disturbance incidents, 1 which involved an arrest. We had 5 incidents of identity theft and/or check fraud, 4 stolen vehicles that were unlocked with the keys in them, 11 car burglaries of unlocked vehicles. We had 18 motor vehicle accidents, with 2 having minor injuries. 150 traffic stops conducted by the Patrol Division and Traffic Division, focusing on areas that residents have complained about, and general enforcement. 781 calls for service during the same time period. Our largest call for service categories were crime prevention patrols at 120. We had ambulance calls, 61, false burglar alarms, 48, miscellaneous calls, 46, and fire-related calls, 45. Thursday and Fridays were the busiest days of the week. A majority of our weekly call volume was between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m., and that represented 37% of all calls for service. And just 2 other late entries here. Our animal control officer has indicated that our dog license rate for the first time ever that he's known is up over 2,500 dogs in town that are licensed. And as of yesterday, we have 100% compliance in dog delinquency licensing. And lastly, as most of us know, the Great Island property is going to be open to the public beginning tomorrow. There's numerous rules in place that have been adopted and implemented by the Board of Selectmen. Our officers will be very present on the property around the clock, specifically during daylight hours. And just as a reminder, the property will be closed after sunset each day.
Chief, you want to elaborate on any of that?
Well, I think we can kind of distill Great Island access and summarize it this way. It's a very simple rule, I think, to follow at this point. And these are just temporary rules until such time as the roadways get reconstructed. But for now, you can walk into Great Island, and you can walk on the paved surfaces. But that's the only rule that you can remember. That is the rule, that you can walk in, and you can walk on paved surfaces. That's not a police commission rule. That's not a legal traffic authority rule. That's the rules put forth by the Board of Selectmen. So no vehicular access, no bicycle access, no dog access, no picnics, no accessing the beach, no accessing the dock. The rules, these temporary rules, are put in place to allow people to go in and kind of get a flavor of what the area looks like. There might be some residents who've never been in there, to take a walk around on the paved surfaces.
Is
Our
there
officers-
signage
Yeah.
at the entrance?
No
So-
parking signs have gone up.
Well,
Again,
that's
we
another
probably,
traffic issue,
we
but-
will be able to work with that. But yes, Ed Gentile assured me that today the signs would be put up, because we did ask for very conspicuous signs that clearly spelled out that you cannot drive in, you cannot ride your bike in there, you cannot bring a dog in there. Now, the DPW did close off that little loop area at Goodwives and Pear Tree where, people typically pull into park to fish. They've closed that off, and there is a bike rack now installed in there. So if you do happen to ride your bike in the neighborhood and you want to walk into Great Island, you can secure your bike in that bike rack temporarily.
And Chief, I think you summed it up. I think there's a lot of rules, but if you go to the Town of Darien website on February 21st, the specific rules are posted underneath Great Island early access information if everyone wants to see the specifics. Bottom line, walk in, stay on the path, pave the path.
Right. And there are people, that still live there. There are tenants in there. Right? So you may see some vehicles driving in there. They're allowed to drive. They live in there. But residents and visitors should also understand that although they can't drive in, other people may legally drive in. Right? Police car, emergency services, or residents of Great Island. So it'll probably take quite some time before what Great Island rules ultimately will be. But this is just temporary to give everybody a glimpse and kind of a flavor of what it's like in there.
Well, and we can, assume it goes fine, and then if it doesn't, we'll figure out how to police it, or we'll
We'll monitor it.
We'll monitor and,
We'll be in there on a regular basis during daylight hours, and folks got to know they have to be vacated by sundown, and we'll be checking it even more frequently, probably, in the hours after dark to ensure that people are following the rules as laid forth by the Board of Selectmen.
okay. Anything else you have on, for,
Department activity?
oh, that's it, okay.
Other than the fact that the police commission named a new chief,
Well,
coming
yeah.
on April 1st, but yeah, that's the only activity that we have.
That's on the agenda down below. You can't wait to be a public lame duck. Public comment? We will have, hearing none. Old business. Building issues update, front of building sign.
Yep, still working on that. We're waiting on one more quote and we should be good to go. It's just taking a bit, so just want to make sure we get all the right quotes in order and good prices so we can move on with that. Women's locker room is underway. It's going pretty well. I think we'll be done sooner than we had thought, but fingers crossed.
How many lockers, when this is done, how many?
We'll have a total of 17
17.
and an additional shower.
Additional shower and 17 from 10. Our old
Right.
locker was 10.
Everybody's doing well. with the
Originally
the
10
temporary
lockers.
room, that's going well.
Yeah,
Well
looks
enough?
really nice, it's
We had-
comfortable.
We had HSPC, here meeting, and some of the folks were confused on the temporary switching of the bathrooms out there, but.
I can understand that.
You're not
After
really-
10 years
After
going
10
into
years of
one.
going in a particular one, you have to kind of look at the sign here now, but they got it squared.
But I assume we can switch that
It will
back
be switched back,
after.
that's correct.
And, yes, and the only other item on building right now is we did get a quote on the sprinkler system, the nitrogen system,
Hold on,
I
hold on to your socks.
don't know.
42 and change, 42,000 and change is the quote we got from our provider. So I'll have to talk to finance department and see what we do from here on out.
Is that replacing all the pipes?
It's
or
not
is it-
replacing pipes, it's just putting a nitrogen system in to flush it out so it stays drier.
Dry.
It's not gonna fix the problem we already have, but it's gonna keep it from getting worse, hopefully for longer. So we won't have to replace them if we put this unit in, at least for now, for a good
Are we
amount.
looking at options to potentially replace it just as,
No,
because it
They-
could be
they
cost
say-
efficient, or no? Down the road?
no, they say, at this point, they're not eroded enough that we have to go down that road, but if we put this nitrogen system in, it should last us probably 10 years.
It certainly beats replacement.
Right.
I can't even think
I
of that.
don't want to think about that number.
They're
not
not
gonna think about
recommending
that.
replacement at this time.
So 10 years is kind of what they think. I don't know. All right, well, yeah, that's, okay. Dang it. All right, anything else? Building? Anyone? No? Okay. Traffic issues? We touched on Great Island and all of the new no parking signs. I don't know if you want to, I know we had it last week, and we didn't make a motion at the LTA, so why don't we give a little background on,
Well, clearly, with the temporary, if you want to call it a soft opening of Great Island, we need to ensure that people are not going to park in that area. The DPW did install the no parking signs in the area where they thought there would be potential parking. We work very well with the DPW, and I'm in agreement that we would have to have something posted down there. But as of now, as Great Island transitions, we may be able to work collectively with them to maybe remove some of those signs and not have as many signs there. Have to monitor it as it opens here. We may not have any problem. We might have significant problems. So I think monitor as we go along and take a wait-and-see approach. But at some point, those signs will have to be approved by the Legal Traffic Authority.
On a more permanent basis.
That's on a permanent basis, yes. So,
we had it on our agenda last week, if you guys recall. I'm not sure any of us realized they were going up, so they're up. And, yeah, I think let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Gotten a couple of complaints since there, I think, are 30 of them. I don't know, Jerry, somebody went out and counted.
They're quite
There's a lot.
conspicuous.
They're quite, well, they'll get the job done, that's the good news.
And, you know, a positive note, I would think, with the town owning Great Island, depending on how the parking is configured, the parking issues that we do have on occasion during frigid temperatures when people are skating on the pond and parking on Goodwise River Road should go away if there's parking that is fairly reasonably nearby to skate, so that's a
Occasionally-
positive trade-off.
Occasionally causes some emergency vehicle access issues.
Yeah, significant sometimes, and I get it, people want to skate, it's
I didn't even think of that.
Rockwellian there skating on Gorham's Pond, I get it, but it does cause a traffic constriction
Well-
on Goodwise River Road.
There's no doubt that Goodwise River Road is one of the most unsafe roads in town on a good day, so no parking. And the little turnaround, I just want to say, there are boulders up now, that's town property, DPW, that's not really related, that wasn't us.
That's not legal traffic, no,
It's not
that's
legal traffic.
town-controlled property, yeah, and they put those boulders there to keep people from parking in there. Again, the long-term, what will happen with that little turnaround is, and the barricades are in front of it now to give some retroreflectivity, so people don't try to pull in there thinking that they've done for the last 50 years and hit boulders, so a little, and there's a bike rack in there now. I think it was specifically installed there for folks who get to Great Island on their bikes and find out now that they can't ride their bike in there right now,
Quite yet.
yet. Yeah.
Okay, so all of that truly is under the purview of DPW, because that is town property. So whatever they decide to do, that doesn't come back to us, but all the signage and the traffic will come back to us.
That is correct.
Did I say that correctly? Okay. Any other traffic? We're working on a couple things, but nothing on the agenda, I don't think,
I
today.
do have one other thing for old business, if that's okay.
You can go right ahead.
Just an update, an encryption update. So early next week, Captain Hedema, Officer Casano, and I are going to meet to review 3 pieces of documentation, an update to the general orders, which have to be amended to reflect the encryption, a proposed policy, if we're going to allow a very limited number of outside agencies to use that encryption, and the confidentiality agreement that would go along with that, and the additional training that people would have to. So we will hopefully have more for the commission by the end of next week, I would say.
Yes,
Fair.
for sure.
Yeah.
Training and confidentiality, okay.
I guess on that same note, I was going to put under new business, but old business, Captain Udemy, you've done a really nice job with the license plate readers. I know you're negotiating a favorable price for the town now. You expect that to be done probably within 2 weeks or so? And probably be able to present something formally?
Yes, I think within 2 weeks, we will have that nailed down and ready to present.
Okay.
So I'm pretty excited about that.
All right, good. It's a big deal.
That is a really big deal. Okay, new business, Run for Ukraine on May 12th.
Yes, as the commission knows, we maintain a list of approved town events that take place through the course of the year. The Run for Ukraine is on that list. I've been contacted by the coordinators of the event, and they've assured me that the logistics and timing and race course and everything is exactly the same as last year, so I went ahead and gave them the standing approval to hold their event on May 12th. Just wanted to let everybody know.
And what is that route? Which one
It's
is
in
it?
and around the beach area, beginning at Pear Tree Point Beach. I think there's 2 different versions, again, similar to the Run with the Saints, but loops around Long Neck Point and Pear Tree Point down a portion of Good Wives and kind of a button hook back. It's a 5K.
Is that part of the list? I think it was 2 or 3 meetings ago, we approved
Mhm.
the ongoing list, so as long as it's on that
As long
list,
as they
it
remain the
doesn't come
same,
back to
yeah.
us
Yep.
each time. So that is our first test of that. We are not approving it, we approved it. Okay, that's good. Worked as we designed. Sergeant Clohessy to step 2 on February 26, 24.
I would recommend to the commission that Sergeant Clohessy's done a fine job, worthy of getting his second step of pay. He works midnights. I don't see him all that often, but from what I hear, he's doing a fine job. So I would heartily recommend a advancement to step 2.
I make a motion that we approve Sergeant Clohessy to advance to step 2, effective February 26, 24.
Second.
Any other questions? All those in favor? Promotions, last but not least, promotions. Sergeant Wallman, congratulations, promoted to sergeant effective March 3rd, 24. And our own Captain Marin, if you have been under a rock for the last 2 days and have not seen our social media or the Darien Times, but we have very excitedly, the commission promoted Captain Marin to be our 12th chief of police.
Thank you very much.
I have gotten congratulations far and wide for Captain Marin for more than the amount of people that I want to count that were compatriots of his father, and they're contemporaries, therefore, of mine. So, from far and wide. So, you know, the legacy goes deep, and Jerry Marin Sr. was very highly respected across the state of Connecticut, and as is a junior as well. So, as I told the commission, and I've told numerous people, we're well positioned for the future here at the Darien Police Department. And I'm very happy for Jerry to be succeeding me as chief of police. He's going to do a fantastic job. I would expect nothing less, and I'm sure the commission will get everything they're looking for and more.
Well, we interviewed multiple very worthy candidates, and we are,
That is always the problem that
That
we
is
have
always
here.
the
If we
problem.
have a problem with the Darien Police Department, is that when we play chairs, that when the music stops, there's not enough chairs for highly qualified, highly competent, highly educated, engaged officers. We just don't have enough seats for everybody to sit in the seat that they really would want to sit in at that moment. My recommendation, based on past experience over many, many years, is you keep putting yourself in position for success, and at some point, that success is going to come, so.
well, there's no, we get a lot of jobs as the police commission, but promoting the next chief is top of the pyramid, so we're very excited, Jerry. And there will be, at some point, we will announce an official swearing in that people will be invited to attend. It will be sometime, I would assume, after his effective date, so sometime in April, but we will make sure that the date for that will probably be at Town Hall, but we all good? Anyone else?
I say Great Island, Jerry. So we do it down there.
We all drive in.
Drive in.
Only on the asphalt.
Emergency vehicles
Standing
only.
single file.
Very good. Anything, can't really add lots to the agenda because we are a special meeting. Anything else?
We want to set another meeting.
Yes, we do, and.
The chief's
the
penultimate,
chief-
maybe?
The
It
chief's,
will be, most likely, and I don't have a lot of room in my dance card.
uh-oh. Well, we do, yes. We don't have a lot of Thursdays left, chief.
But on the 7th, Captain Marin and I have to appear for a Board of Firearm Permit Examiner pistol permit denial, so we will not be here.
Okay.
The
Well, that's-
14th, we are at CPCA Executive Level Gordon Graham training, so that leaves us the 21st.
That leaves us the 21st.
That works for me. Yeah, because I'm gone the week of the 11th, so that works. 21st. We don't have a choice, do we, Chief?
I don't think he left us
We
many
wanna see you again.
Thursdays.
That's a regular date, too.
The 21st?
Yeah.
Kevin, is that
Yep,
work for you?
fine.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed to say, it might not work for me, but I'm gonna, that's all right. I will be here on the 26th and 27th. So if it doesn't, all right, so March 21st at 4 PM will be our next, for some of us, our last meeting. And I think that is it. We are adjourned.